Today, I want to talk to you about starting an essay. And since we're working on the career essays, I thought I'd do like a sample career essay for you. So, right now, I'm in a Google Doc, and I just wanted to kind of talk through my thinking and how I usually um, set up an essay when I'm getting ready to start one. So, a lot of times the way I think about it is I think out think about different chunks that I'm going to put it into. So the first the first part is going to be my intro. And then I'm going to have the part about the career I chose. Whoops. And then and part of that is going to be the why, like why did I choose that career? And then I'm going to talk about the colleges I want to go to or possibly go to. And part of that is going to be the classes that I want to take. And then the last part is the conclusion. All right, so if I just name them and put them down on paper, it helps me to kind of see where I'm going. So I might add a little bit more space in between each section so I have some room to type. Sometimes, and a lot of this, it happens very often for me, and it might be different for other people, but when I start to write an essay, I concentrate on the 2 or 3 middle paragraphs, and then later I go back and do the introduction and I do the conclusion. I think some people start with the introduction because that's the start of the essay, and they feel like they have to, that's where they have to start because that's the start. But sometimes that holds you back. I think a lot of people get stuck on that and they don't get very far because they stick with that part. So I often will start with the middle, the body of it. If you want to think about the Better Answer sandwich, I collect the lettuce, tomatoes, cheese, and meat of my sandwich first. And then I go and find the buns and I put the middle stuff in the buns, so to speak. Okay? So let's say I wanted to be an interior designer. So I love to look at the inside of different houses and how they're decorated. So I'm just going to write that down. Love to look at houses and how the owner decorates and what furniture they choose. There are lots of styles to interior decorating. And that really interests me. And I love to look at magazines and imagine how my dream home would look if I had all the money in the world. Something else I like to do is to watch the DIY network and the Home and Gardens network and get ideas of different things that I do um, in my house. Okay, I'm going to stop right there because um, that's kind of the career that I would choose and why I would choose it. And I also maybe, um, I'll just add this. Something I like to do is watch TV shows about decorating. Okay. And another reason why I chose this, and this can still be in that part of this paragraph. I might make a separate paragraph, but it's still related to this. Is I'm very creative. And artsy, as people say. I like to make things with my hands and do crafts with all types of materials. I also love to sew. Okay. So that's good for that right now. I can always go back and add more, but I'm just trying to get the major ideas down on paper. So then in order to find information for this section, I'd actually have to go online and search for some colleges. So I might Google colleges for interior design. And if I found like the New England So I decided to look that up on the internet, and here are some examples. I found a website called collegechoice.net, and it has an article about the best interior design degrees. So I thought I'd just take a look at this website. So it talks about the possibilities for careers in the future. And I read down through this a little bit, and it says obtaining a degree in interior design is not only beneficial to your career, but in some cases, it's actually a necessity. So some companies will expect you to have a degree, but I don't think you definitely need one. And then it says the average interior designer makes around $50,000 a year as a starting average salary, which is really good. So I'm going to write that down so I don't forget that. So $50,000 a year as an starting average salary. So it would go. That means it would go up from there as I got more experience. Okay, so here are the top, 10 schools or whatever it said. The New York School of Interior Design. I like this website because it gives you a little bit of information about it. You can see a picture of it, and it gives you the price, and it links you right to the school website if you want to check it out. I think it would be fun to live in New York City for a while. I like the country, so I don't know if I could stay there for a long period of time. I could probably go to school there, but I don't know if I could live there forever. So it gives an overview of the college. And there's one down in Savannah, Georgia, and George Washington University, which is in Washington, D.C. But look at the price on that one. What was Savannah? Wow, $40,000. And I'm assuming that's a per year price. It doesn't say. But look at this one, Virginia Polytechnic Institute and State University. Usually state universities are a lot less expensive. So $17,000 a year is not bad at all. And I have family that lives in Virginia. So that might be good because I could go visit my family on the weekends or spend time there or spend Christmas there if I don't want to come all the way back up to Maine. So there's a lot of things that you need to think about with when you're doing this. And that can be things that you want to add in your essay as you're doing it. So let's go back. Let me get rid of this. Let's go back to our outline of the essay that we've got. Okay. So college classes. So now I can say, and I also looked up and found one called the New England Institute of Technology of Architecture and Design, and that was in Rhode Island. So I can say, I looked at some colleges. I'm going to pause this a minute and add in some more information about the ones that I looked at. So I just added this paragraph in. I looked at some colleges. One of the colleges I found was rereading and checking my mistakes. That's great. One of the colleges I found was the New England Institute of Technology, Architecture and Design, which is in Rhode Island. That is pretty close to home, so it's a possibility. I also found the New York School of Interior Design and the Virginia Polytechnical Institute and State University. The school in Virginia is close to some of my relatives, so I think I would choose that one so I can go visit on the weekends and for holidays. It is also the least expensive, and if I can get some scholarships, I won't have many loans to repay. So all those ideas that pop into your head as you're trying to put this together, put them all down, okay? Those are really good reasons to add to this essay. Okay. Then while I was looking at that website just a few minutes ago, one of the things that I wrote down, I want to add up here. It said that when you start out in the field, interior designer. The starting salary is about $50,000 a year. Whoops, not $50, $50,000 a year. And I'm going to add some voice in here. That sounds great to me. Many companies require a bachelor's degree. So I am looking at 4 years, years of college. Okay, and even though I wrote this first and then I popped up back here, it's going to make sense as they read, because here I'm saying that I need 4 years of college, and then I can say that I can add to this actually. The school in Virginia is close to some of my relatives. I can add in here that it offers a bachelor's degree because that's what it said on the website. This school offers the bachelor's degree that I will need. Okay, and I like doing this on the computer because I can pop in a sentence in the middle of my paragraph. If I'm writing that down, I can't do that. Okay, so every once in a while I stop and reread what I already have, and sometimes just by rereading I think of something, oh yeah, I want to add that, and I can put that in wherever I need to. Okay, So I don't want this video to go on much longer because I wanted to kind of just get you started